Hi, everyone. It is Shannon Curran here, your host of the Age of Agility podcast. So glad that you're here with us today. I know I'm not supposed to have favorite episodes. I can't say that any of these are my favorite, but I gotta say, this one is really up there. So I had the absolute privilege of talking to Tyrell Morris, who is a long-term Quickbase customer and the executive director of Orleans Parish Communications District in New Orleans. You will hear that this is a little bit more Quickbase forward than we typically had on the podcast, but he is someone that is very proficient in the platform and has solved tons of problems and operations needs and workflows using our platform over many years. So specifically, we are talking with him today about the coronavirus, COVID-19, and all of the new processes and workflows that have come up through the last year. Specifically, they've seen a ton of success with their vaccine rollout program. And you'll hear Tyrell really talk about all of the work that they've done to make sure they have the data that they need when they need it to serve the populations that they serve. You'll hear he is humble and inspiring, and it is definitely one of those episodes that reminds me why I go to work every day. So really hope that you enjoy it, and looking forward to hearing all of your feedback on what they've been able to do. We really hope that you enjoy this episode, and we look forward to talking with you soon. Enjoy. Welcome to the Age of Agility. This is a show where we talk to people who are facing unique challenges with an agility mindset. We'll learn from industry leaders, business and IT professionals, and even check in on our colleagues from time to time. Stay tuned as we explore the age of agility. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Age of Agility podcast. My name is Shannon Curran. Happy to be here with you today. Really excited to talk to Tyrell Morris, who is the executive director of the Orleans Parish Communications District, here with us today, and to talk to us about all the work he's doing in New Orleans. So Tyrell, thanks so much for being here with us.
Thank you so much, Shannon, for having me here today. It's always a great pleasure to come back and speak to the wonderful people and customers at Quickbase.
Awesome. So can you tell us a little bit about who Tyrell is, who you are, and your role in what you do?
We are home of New Orleans 911 and 311. So, the city of New Orleans, we are known for our events. We have over 450 festivals a year, one of them being the largest free party in the world, known as Mardi Gras, where our city opens our doors to 1.4 million people a year. Of course, this year's Mardi Gras is not canceled. It's just different, where we have the city leadership has made the decision to not allow the traditional festivals, parades, balls that traditionally happen through the 2-week Mardi Gras period or the carnival season, in an attempt to protect the lives of our visitors and the people of this great city.
I know you've talked with Quickbase a lot in the past about all of the work that you do. And so how has your work pivoted this year? So not just for Mardi Gras, but just in general, over the last year, within your role in your city?
I will say, COVID has forced us to redefine how we do business. And I think what a unique opportunity for this particular agency is that it allows us to demonstrate our value to the community, that we do have the innovation and the flexibility to move with the needs of our people. If you would have told me pre-COVID that my organization would be responsible for managing a self-quarantine registry, or on the phone arranging for people to get food deliveries to their homes because they can't leave their property, I would have told you were crazy. But COVID has really forced us to reimagine what government looks like and how we deliver those such essential services. So here at 911, no matter what's happening, COVID or not, the citizens expect that when they dial those 3 digits, we answer and we bring them relief or remedy whatever problem may be coming their way. Right after Mardi Gras, around March of last year, COVID-19 really gripped our city at the core, where 1.60% of our EMS personnel were out of commission. Either they were exposed to COVID or they had COVID themselves. So if you can imagine a city like ours having more than half of your EMS personnel out of commission, that posed a challenge. And so we really had to think strategically and make sure we were using our resources appropriately. So we turned to Quickbase. So here we also use we have 311 in the city as well, which is everything that's not 911. And we use Quickbase to manage that entire platform. So everything from I need to request a large item to be picked up for garbage, or my street has a pothole, or my neighbor's grass is too high. We then use that same infrastructure in place to expand our COVID-19, we call monitoring and management capabilities. So we ask the citizens, if you expose COVID, add yourself to the self-quarantine registry, or if you called 911, we necessarily didn't send you an ambulance right away. If you had low acuity symptoms, we used some video technology, did a video triage with a paramedic, and we had to change the instructions. And so when you self-quarantine, a member of my staff will have to call you every day to check on you to make sure your conditions were improving. But if they were getting worse, then we then would send you an ambulance. So it really allowed us to be agile and manage the situation on the ground. Then came the federally funded citywide feeding program. So individuals that met certain criteria would call our agency and submit an application through our Quickbase application. And if you qualified, the system then sent your information to our various vendors, who then provided you 2 hot meals a day delivered to your front door to make sure that we were not adding to the problem of food insecurity and also the physical and health of our city. Then switch that to COVID-19 testing, where the health department ran drive-through clinics. We used Quickbase to manage the notification of those individuals of their test results, and we opened up a health department call center, and Quickbase managed all their workflows. And now businesses that are non-compliant with the mayor's orders, those complaints coming through Quickbase. And also right now, vaccine sign up. So right now, citizens can visit our website and sign up to get on the waiting list for a COVID-19 vaccination. And through some very incredible integrations and pipelines, we're able to update people, send them emails, send them text messages. Hey, you're registered for your vaccination. Here's the address. We send them a confirmation the morning of. 2 days before their second dose, we send them a second confirmation text, and then another one on the day of their second dose. For us, Quickbase has really allowed us to meet the needs of our people faster than we could have ever imagined.
Incredible. It does seem like, Tyrell, I don't even need to ask you questions. But I feel like there's obviously a great story here, like for an industry that isn't typically known as being the most digital first, right? You all have really been utilizing technology for a long time to support the work that you do and the data, all of the data, right? Like the last year has only created more new data for you than you probably ever had to collect before. So I know we've been talking a lot about, so you cannot turn on a news channel without hearing about vaccine rollout. And typically it's about failures in vaccine rollout, right? So vials going bad, folks not knowing what phase they're in, not knowing how they're going to be able to get vaccinated, not understanding. So can you talk us through a little bit about what you all are tracking, what you sort of faced at the beginning when building this, like as new doses or as new types of vaccines become approved, all this kind of stuff? Like, how are you navigating that?
Yeah, so I'll be honest with you. The mayor was very clear at the beginning of this pandemic that we were not going to test our way out of this pandemic. What was going to end this pandemic for us is educating our people on how to be safe and what to do. And so we really use the powers of Quickbase to communicate, not just to organize people, but also let them know how to properly take advantage or go through the process of being safely vaccinated. So in addition to getting a wait list right now, so right now we of course no one has enough vaccine to vaccinate everybody right now. It's coming to us in tiers or in pods or in spurts. So you complete a simple questionnaire, but we're also asking some additional questions to evaluate your vulnerability, but also your future eligibility, as we know the tiers are coming down the road. So if you go in our system right now, you submit an application, it will ask you some basic demographic information and some occupational information to see if you qualify today. If it does, it will give you an option to schedule an appointment. If you do, or if you are eligible and there are no appointments available, it puts you in a different bucket. So as doses become available, we're able to send notification out to those individuals that do qualify as of today of how to go, where to go sign up to get their vaccination. But we also have a big pot of people who are not quite eligible, but we have their information. We have the information. We also know their willingness to get the vaccination. So as we're looking at vulnerability in populations, we know our vulnerability areas by zip code or neighborhood. Individuals that don't have good access to healthcare, individuals that don't necessarily, get consistent flow of information from government. Those individuals that we know that the COVID-19 pandemic is hitting them the hardest, either by their infection rate or their death rate. So we understand that we now have some demographic information. So when it is time to get people vaccinated, we're able to target and have the greatest impact as far as reducing the loss of life and illness. So we're asking those questions, one, to determine eligibility now, but also it influences our strategy on how we get people vaccinated in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we sometimes make a joke in the software world that like, we're not saving lives here, but in reality, we are. you are, or we're like enabling you to be able to, right? Like you're doing the work, but you need technology that's reliable. Like you're hearing all these horrible stories about folks that are getting these systems that they cannot augment, they can't change, they need professional developers, they can't like, can you talk a little bit about how your team is actually the ones inside the applications, and by your team, I mean probably kind of you, inside the applications, really being able to change and flex within them as things change?
Sure. So in my role as director of this agency, yes, being a Quickbase application developer is not the top of my list.
Right.
But it's a skill that I have, and it's a skill we're building other people in the organization to have through the Quickbase University, so we can also be more agile in our other processes. But give you this example. So we knew we were getting some vaccine, and I received the request to build an application from my health department that could manage the registration and scheduling for the public to get vaccine. I was able to produce a demo for our health department director in 24 hours. Most of that time I was sleeping. So I got home at 8 o'clock at night. By 11 p.m., I had a prototype and I had something that I thought worked well. And then we did the demo the next day. They asked for a couple of tweaks and then bam, here we go. So, and also manage the rest of the agency and the other emergencies that are happening in the city in real time. So I was able to produce this in a way that it was quick, easy. Now I am no professional programmer at all. I never studied computer science in my life. I don't have a degree in it, but I understand basic Excel. I understand basic data structure. And with my courses I took in the university, Quickbase University, I feel like I can build anything. So I would love for the opportunity for someone to come along and say, now my technology team, they support a lot of our other critical systems that I don't know how they work. But they are beginning to get into the realm of understanding Quickbase and just low code in general. I think it is a new phenomenon or new industry, as software as a service. But I challenge anybody to a build battle.
I would love to see it.
Yeah, let's go.
That's awesome. So so taking a step out of the product, I'd love to hear your perspective on what agility really means in government. And I know that you aren't just a government like entity, you also work in a lot of other capacities in your life, but what does that word really mean to you? Because this whole podcast, we talk to folks about what does operational agility mean to you? What does it mean to be agile? So what does it mean in your day-to-day?
So, our mayor calls this the city of yes. And to me, the agility is how many times do you not get to say yes? That really measures your agility. And I think, in most cases, when people come to our organization for a solution around technology, in most cases, we want to be able to say yes. And every time we can say yes is a penny in our agility bucket. But then every time we can't, that those where our barriers are. And I think as big tech begins to develop this agile, can this solution is it flexible enough to meet the needs of the individual's customers' customization, but also is it secure enough that it's not going to break every time you make a change? To me, the relationship between the two, some would call it a marriage, and that's the agility marriage to me, is it flexible enough, but also strong and secure enough for its reliability?
Yeah, absolutely. So it is that two-pronged sort of situation where you want to be able to build fast, but you also need to make sure it's a secure platform that you can be trusted by your technology teams and everyone else. No, absolutely. All right. So another question for you. So as we talk about agility, do you think this is a new concept in government? Is this something that folks are seeing as a requirement, or is this something you've been talking about for a long time and now folks were forced to move into a more agile mindset as they were forced this year?
I would say I think the agility has always been the desire of government. And that's why we've always had to rely on the big technology firms to deliver, because they're the ones that had the resources to develop usually an on-prem agile solution. But now, as we are getting very comfortable with cloud-based applications, we've allowed the agility to be realized in kind of leveling the playing field quite a bit. The cloud kind of brought the little dogs up to the same arena with the big dogs. And I think, a good developer that has time, understands a business process very well, and has the agility and the tools to do something in a cloud-based environment could rival these big wigs from something they build in their garage. So to me, the agility of a platform and cloud-based agility to me is very different than hosted agility. Kind of is made a pathway for the next Bill Gates, for someone to come out of their room and say, hey, I found these resources and I built this system that does everything. It's strong, it's secure, and it meets the government's needs. And I think it's going, and I love healthy competition in the technology marketplace, because it only pushes us all forward.
Yeah.
Nothing is worse than having a technology company that gets real comfortable. Because the moment they get real comfortable, they no longer don't exist anymore, because somebody come along or they lose sight of what their competitors are doing. But I think from a government perspective, I welcome that open market kind of open thinking, open concept, technology canvas per se. And when people ask me to describe Quickbase, I describe it as that. It is literally a technology canvas where it gives you this structure on an easel, and you have the parameters, but you get to apply the color, the detail of what the picture ultimately looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. And it resonates so much with me talking about this idea that there's just a way broader capacity for innovation. More people are making innovation, more types of folks, different job titles. Like if you were to tell someone 15 years ago that, the director of a community that is building their own applications, someone would probably tell you you're crazy, right? But this is possibly the future of the way that technology is going, right? The folks that understand, like there's no one better that understands the process of 911 or 311 than you. So why wouldn't you be the person that would build the technology around it? So it's very cool. It's going to be interesting. I wonder your perspective on what you think the appetite for this type of technology is going to be moving forward from a government perspective. Do you think everyone is going to see the value, or do you see some folks are going to stay behind?
Here, that's one thing COVID taught us. COVID has forced us into a new space. Even individuals that it's one thing to say, oh, I can, let me be an early adopter, but I can always fall on what I have today. You don't have what you have today if your people can't come to work. And so it kind of forced the people who did not like being on the bleeding edge, or those individuals that were not open to being innovative, to either you innovate or you don't have nothing. And it's a very different decision point there than it is if you have the choice of relying on what your existing infrastructure.
Absolutely. So Tyrell, I know you're a very busy man, but what we always end this conversation with asking about, how are you? How are you doing? Like, how have things been for you? I want to know a little bit about how things are going in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, things for me personally are well. I'm very proud of the people that work here every day and just see the work that they do. The 180 heroes under the headset, or I call them my gladiators. I have never met a more dedicated group of individuals who are dedicated to figuring it out. And every 911 call, no matter how crazy or routine it may be, that's what we are doing. We are figuring it out. And particularly on the 311 side, we find ourselves trying to anticipate the needs of our people. And you have to have a strong intentionality or desire to serve to work in this industry. So to me, it's an honor to come to work every day to work with these people. It's been a rough year for everybody. It's been an exhausting year. I'm looking forward to being able to travel again, have a vacation, but I still stand ready for what's next. I think public safety as a whole, this year has taken a beating. beating as far as the workload per se has been intense, but also the industry has been forced into places that are uncomfortable, but we needed to be there. Government, the COVID-19 pandemic absolutely is still presenting many challenges in how we deliver business or deliver our services. But I also think the people in uniform this year have realized that our community expect us to maintain their trust and hold it and cherish the public trust. And so we have to do what's right, even when no one's looking. And so those are two very big different challenges that are coming, that are here, and that have caused some dissonance internally and externally to anyone that works in government or public safety. And the people who make it through this battle or this moment of dissonance are going to be the true people who wear the white hat. And I think on the other side of this, the public will once again have its public trust and its people who have taken an oath to serve them. So yeah, am I tired? Yes. Am I looking forward to the end of COVID? Yes. Am I looking forward to realizing the benefits of all this equity work that we're doing, all this constitutional policing work that we're doing across the country? Yes. But I'm not tired enough to not continue to fight.
You're very inspiring, Tyrell. Every time I talk to you, it gets better. But I think it's just a huge perspective shift. Like, none of these people were working from home, right? Like, this was never all right, now just go home. Like, there is definitely it has been a very unique experience for the folks that have been out there this entire time, right? And I think we are grateful to get to work with you. And I know that lots of folks across this country are grateful for the people that are doing that work. And I feel very grateful that I just get to chat with you. But thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us today. This was an absolute treat. I'm sure our listeners are really excited to hear from you. So is there anything you want people to know about you, about your work, about anything coming up that you all are working on?
We just look forward to seeing you all Mardi Gras 2022. Well, we get to reconnect with people. I think, this break from people, as someone said to me, this was an opportunity for us to meet our neighbors, and how to be at home, how to be with family, and how to be with self. So never, as a country, as we go through this healing period, I'm excited to see who we are once outside opens up again.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much. And to everyone out there, make sure to like and subscribe. I don't know how you couldn't after this one. You know where you can find us on all the places you listen to your favorite podcasts, or on quickbase.com/podcasts, or on our YouTube channel. So we look forward to seeing you next week.